Okay, so we have opened ScanTailor, and now we are going to open a new project. Now, if we had already saved a project, we would hit the Open Project button. But for now, we'll hit New Project. So we'll browse for the files. Now, if you only wanted some of the files in the project, you would hit Select All, move them over to Files Not in Project, then select the ones you want, and move them over to Files in Project. But we want all the files, so we're going to select all, move them over to Files in Project, then hit OK. Okay, now first we fix the orientation. Now we see that the first two are already facing the right direction, so we won't worry about those. This third one down, they're facing the wrong direction, so we'll rotate it, hit Apply to this page and the following ones. OK. As we see, as we scroll down, all the files are going the right direction. And if you see a file that's not supposed to be in the project at all, you right click on it, hit Remove from Project, and hit Remove. And that does not delete the file, but simply takes it out of the project you're working on. Now we'll go to Split Pages. Now it is, we use this play button this time, and that runs through and does an action. But if you have a button here that says Apply to, it automatically works, so you would not need to use this button. But here we'll go ahead and hit the play button. And it goes down and puts what it thinks each page is. But sometimes it makes a mistake, so you simply click on the page and pick it manually. And then you hit play again and it continues on its way. Okay, so we scroll through and check. Make sure that it selected all the files correctly, and it did. So now we go to deskew. Deskew is a setting that corrects any page that is tilted in the wrong direction. So we'll go ahead and start it running through. And keep an eye on the side to make sure it's doing the right thing. And then if it didn't do it, you simply grab these bars and move it until the page is righted. And hit play. Now it's done, and we'll move on to select content. Now on the cover, you always want to select the whole thing, because this is going to be the template for size for the rest of the book. So you always want to select the entire cover. After that, you let it play. And it puts a box around the outermost large splotch on the page. So here it selected this, even though we don't want it. So then you can manually move it down. And you can get pretty close to the edge because it cuts from the outside edge of the blue line. So even if it looks pretty close, you don't have to worry because the whole thing's gotten in. And always just keep a watch here. Make sure it got the page numbers. Sometimes it leaves those out. Thinks it's a splotch. Okay, now it's done that, we can go on to margins. Now on the cover, you always want 0 margins on both the edges. And you want it center rated. On the rest of the pages, you want about 5 on top and bottom, and about 3 millimeters on left and right. Then we can apply to this page and the following ones. And hit OK. And as I said earlier, this automatically does it, so we don't have to hit the play button. And also this page, we want center weighted. Now for the rest of the pages, you want to weight it in whatever direction the page number is. So if it's up there, you would weight it to the upper right. If it's in the center of the bottom, you would weight it to the center of the bottom. And if it has no page number at all, you would just center weight it. So we've done that, and we can go on to output. Now since this is an all color page, we'll go ahead and select the mode color grayscale. Okay. Now so we see there's some text at the bottom that we want to take out. So we'll go to fill zones. Okay. Now for fill zones, you probably want to zoom in on the area. You can zoom in by scrolling down. And then we'll click for each corner and select the area we want to take out. If it goes off the page, that's okay, because it still doesn't do that in the actual file. So like that, but it's white. So we'll right click on it and hit pick color. And then we'll make sure that orange is in the circle, and we'll click. And make sure that every time you do a fill zone that has color in it, you pick a new color, because as we can see from the outside, it changes shades across the page. So we want to make sure we do that. And then we can go back to output and see how it looks. Okay, now on colored pages, we want to change the DPI to 200. So we're going to have to custom and type in 200, and this page only, hit OK. Okay. Now on black and white pages, we want to change the DPI to 400. So we'll this page and the following ones, and hit OK. And you also want a 400 DPI setting on mixed pages. Okay, so that's good. Let's go down to the page that needs more fixing. Now on most black and white pages, we'll use the cautious despeckling mode. If you hit the despeckling tab here, and you can see which speckles is taken out. For pages with a lot of speckles like this, we may want to go ahead to normal or aggressive despeckling here. But on some of these pages, there will be diacritics, like here, and you want to make sure that despeckling doesn't take out those. Go here, check, make sure that wasn't diacritics. Now we can go to fill zones and take out what the despeckling couldn't. So here we can go ahead and select some stuff to take out. And if you found out that you left something out of a fill zone, you can simply grab the edge and pull it out. And when we get to this output stage, this is where it actually creates a file on your computer. But if you see a mixed page in the book, like this, where it has picture and black and white text, then we'll go to the mixed setting, which you want also a 400 dpi setting. And here, we want picture zones. So here, if we see that part of the picture wasn't included in the picture zone, we can just select that, and then it flashes with the rest as being in the picture. Yeah, and then we can go to output. That looks pretty good. And it works with the same with mixed color pictures. And here we'll go to picture zones. And that looks pretty good already, so we can just leave that alone. Output, and the rest of the page looks fine, so that looks pretty good. So after you've edited each page and checked them, then you can go ahead and go at the top and hit the play button. And this will run through, and on a normal book could take about 15 minutes. On another book, slightly less. So we're not going to wait for that in this video. And that will put the finished file in a folder called Out inside the folder with the pictures on your computer. But you also want to save the project, so you'll go File, Save Project, and go to the place where your files were. And save it right here. You want to call it the same number or name as your files. And see, there's also a folder called Out here. This is where the output files were. But we just want to go ahead and save this in the folder.